Hey guys, welcome to the channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to use GPT-5, a beginner's guide. First, we open our preferred browser. What we're going to do, obviously, is search for ChatGPT. Keep in mind that currently ChatGPT is already available for free with its ChatGPT 5 version. So we go to the page chatgpt.com. Once we enter, we'll see the main screen, where on the left sidebar we can start a new chat. There are more features, but the first thing we'll do here is sign in. If you already have an account, just log in. If you're new, then you'll register for free. For example, let's click on sign up for free. You will see several options to register. You can enter your email address and click continue. Next, you will create a password and your account will be ready. You can also sign up using Google, Microsoft, or other available options. In this case, let's continue with Google. It will redirect us to our Google account where we need to sign in and give the necessary permissions to create our ChatGPT account. After that, we'll be able to see the available plans for ChatGPT. We go to the upgrade plan where we can view the personal plans. There's the free plan, which of course has no cost. It includes access to ChatGPT with benefits like unlimited file uploads, slower unlimited image generation, memory, and more. If you want something more advanced, there's the Plus plan. With Plus, you get more benefits such as GPT-5 with advanced reasoning, extended message and uploads, and more. There's also the Codex agent, which is geared toward programmers. And finally, there's the Pro plan, which costs $2,000 per month and includes even more improvements than the others. Next, we'll get a short walkthrough of the ChatGPT interface. On the left sidebar, we will see our history, new chat, search chats, libraries, Sora, the AI model of generating videos, GPT models, folders we can create and save chats. For example, if I click on one of these, it opens with all the information. We can also share, rename, archive, or delete a chat. Let's delete this one. At the top right, we have the temporary chat, which is like an ephemeral chat that doesn't get saved in our history. So what can we do with GPT? Pretty much anything. For example, we can talk with naturally. It also gives us options for feedback like marking answers as helpful or unhelpful, sharing them, retrying, or starting a thread. You can even make it read aloud. We can ask it anything. For example, let's ask it to generate some C# code for a basic veterinarian webpage. If we click enter, it generates the code step by step, models, controllers, and views. As you can see, it's very useful for coding. We can also add files and images. GPT can analyze or read them depending on the type. There is also a study and learn, where GPT not only gives you answers but explains how it's reached them and offers practice exercise. With create an image, we can generate AI image. It usually takes a little longer, but the results are more detailed. Deep research searches bibliographic sources across the internet and gives you a more complete response. In the free plan, you get 5 per month. There is also the browse the web option. This option is similar to deep research, obviously gets the information on the web. And Canvas, which lets us work in even more interactive ways. We can also connect external cloud webs like Google Drive, OneDrive, or SharePoint, so GPT can work with those files. Let's try an example. Let's go to create an image. In the plus option to ChatGPT, we're going to choose the create an image. Here we will ask it to generate a flying cat. Here also we can choose a style. As you can see, we have so many styles like cyberpunk, like anime, like portraits, and more. Let's pick anime. As you can see, GPT generates a prompt depending on the chosen style, but we can also add our own prompt or edit it. Then we click on enter and the image starts generating. This may take a while depending on the request or the prompt that we give to ChatGPT. We can also dictate using our microphone, and GPT will transcribe it in a real time. So we can see that the image is still in the process of being generated. This step usually takes a little time depending on how complex the request is and which style we choose. For example, if we select something like anime and cyberpunk, the AI spends a few extra seconds refining the details, so the results looks much better. Once the generation is complete, we can open it to view in full size. We can also download it directly to our device or keep it inside the chat to continue working with it. For instance, after downloading, we could upload the same image back into ChatGPT. By doing this, ChatGPT can analyze the content and tell us exactly what the image represents. If it's a simple drawing, it might describe the object or the style that was used. If it's something more technical, it can give us a deeper explanation. So in this example, we're going to type the prompt that what is the image that we put. So once the generation finishes, ChatGPT recognizes the results and an anime style illustration of a flying cat with wings. That's pretty cool because it shows us the AI can not only create content but also interpret and explain it afterward. And well, that's a brief introduction to how to use ChatGPT 5 for beginners. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and I will see you in the next video.